As council knows, we've had several moratoriums at this point in time. First on collective gardens in the city of Pacific, and then regarding the production and distribution of medical marijuana. While the Planning Commission and staff have tried to figure out what was going on the state and federal level. The most recent moratorium that the City Council of the City of Pacific enacted was on February 25th, 2013. It's a 6-month moratorium, which is due to expire on August 25th, 2013. The Planning Commission had submitted some draft zoning regulations that, after holding public hearings, submitted that to council, and there was some discussion, and then the matter didn't travel much further for a while. There is currently at the state Supreme Court level a case involving medical marijuana zoning regulations similar to those contemplated by the City of Pacific. And we're expecting to have a ruling on the legality of those regulations by the end of this year. As I said, the February 25th moratorium is due to expire on August 25th. Therefore, if council desires to enact another moratorium, today's meeting would be the last council meeting absent a special meeting to extend the moratorium another 6 months while things are being sorted out at the court level. I don't know if council would like to add anything to this.
I think the way you explained it is exactly right. Right now there's a lawsuit or a decision pending. There's a decision that is pending with the Supreme Court with regard to zoning regulations implemented by Kent that are similar to what we're contemplating. So the idea is to wait to see what the court does with those and then make some changes based on that. So that's what we're waiting for with regard to the medical marijuana situation. And I can answer any questions if anyone has questions.
Okay, so with that, we'll go ahead and open it up for public comment. So Heather, if you would like to come up first.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Heather Kaufman. I live at 222 Hawthorne Avenue. I have lived in Pacific 3 different times. I like the city. I'll always have. I've been here for 42 years. In 1992, I was at work in Auburn at a recycling plant and fell down 2 conveyor belts and broke my lower back. Well, after that, I started taking pain medication. Got up to 140 milligrams, including Oxycontin and Vicodin. Could not really function, could not eat very well. I had Crohn's disease, I've had liver disease, I've had multiple different things. I have all the records right here. And now I'm actually doing the medical marijuana, and I have been able to reduce my pain medication down to 80 milligrams now, which I feel very proud of. I plan on getting lower of that and lower and lower until I'm totally off that. This medication that I take, medical marijuana, it has made it my ability to eat. It has made my ability to be not nauseous. I'm not 100 pounds anymore. I'm actually up to 120, which is a good weight by my doctor. It has really done me wonders. Now, for the point of having an access point, a safe access point where you can go and get your medication is what you need. You don't need to be out there on the streets trying to get your medication from somebody that you don't know, have any idea what it is, how it's been done, what chemicals are on it or anything. You need to have a safe access point to be able to get your medications. And I would suggest all the city council and mayor, if you would, please not extend the moratorium. Thank you.
Any other public comment on the medical marijuana moratorium?
Yes, got one.
Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Jeff Bagby, I live at 327 Milwaukee Boulevard South. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. I've lived here for like a month or two, and I plan on staying, really like it. For a long time I was going to Seattle and Puyallup to get my meds. I have PTSD as well as insomnia. So it's just a killer, the specific green down here, which I guess made it in between the camp and the Moratorium, but they charge insane prices. Like, they charge more than anybody, any drug dealer I tried to went to would charge me. I got really bad social anxiety, felt really awkward. I was really like I'm shaking right now. And I've gone to Chronic Solutions. That's now my place, business of choice, good people, reasonable prices, good meds. I just wanted to state my piece. I plan on being in the city for a while, and they should give them a shot. They've grown an insane amount since they've opened. I'll walk the life in there. Good people. Give them a shot. So.
Thank you. Any other public comment on this? Any other public comment on the marijuana moratorium? Okay. Last call. Public comment on the medical marijuana moratorium. Okay, that one is closed. Moving on to the next public hearing that we have this evening, and that is the right-of-way condemnation. So would you like to give us a staff report, Mr. Phil? Sure. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. As you remember, last Monday I came in and presented the nice colored 11 by 17s. We're now down to basically page 1 is the only one that we're looking at getting through the condemnation ordinance. The last 3 pages have signed either the land over or possession use, which allows us to move forward with the project and still negotiate a price with that property owner. As you know, the project is obviously a combination project between Sumner and Pacific, 1.5 miles long, Valentine / 136th Avenue. The reason we are pushing the condemnation is we have one of the bigger grants, the $4.9 million curb grant that's at risk of being lost if we don't get to a certain point by November. And November, we're shooting for being out to advertise sometime in November. So as Don alluded to, we probably will not be in construction until next year, springtime, because nobody wants to start construction during the winter. But this ordinance is to help keep us pushing, moving forward to that November deadline of being out to bid. And we have reduced, I think, our risk down, or the number of parcels down to a bare minimum. The red are, again, the ones that I think we're going to possibly keep moving forward quite a ways with. And the yellows are ones that hopefully by Wednesday, which I hear is my new cutoff date, I'm hoping by Wednesday we'll have some sort of signature from the yellows. So really, it's 2 plus a potential of a few more in the yellow, the 2 reds. So we've definitely knocked it down from 60 down to hopefully just a handful. And I've brought back up here, we have the City of Sumner Assistant City Attorney, and Jeff, who is our consultant from Lighthouse Law Group. We needed their expertise because of the speediness that we need to acquire the property in. That's a better terminology. Always trying to move fast. My goal is to not lose the grant for a fully funded project, keep the project moving forward, and get this sucker under construction. So I'll leave it off to somebody else to talk a little bit more about the condemnation process.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Again, Jeff Taraday with Lighthouse Law Group. I'm happy to answer any questions about the condemnation ordinance, or if you want to hear from the public first and then ask me to answer any questions at that point, that would also be fine with me. Are there any questions right now? I know we took this up at the study session last week, so I know most of you are probably familiar with it. But I don't want to unnecessarily lengthen your agenda.
We may have questions for you when we reach the ordinance on the agenda. So
I'll wait.
thank you, I appreciate that. So with that, I'll open it up to comments from the audience. Mr. Scroggins, would you like to go first?
I'm North Scroggins, 1512 Thornton Avenue. Folks, you pave over Valentine again, knowing, Mr. Hill can testify to this, Mr. Morgan knows about it, and I understand you know about it. There is ups and downs in the sewer line. There's ups and downs in that whole system, which, by the way, I had the whole thing cambered many years ago, and I brought it to the city's attention. The city then had it cambered, the entire thing was messed up. It is so bad sometimes at our office you cannot stand out behind because you have standing sewer in every manhole if you folks would take a chance and walk down there and pull one up. John had it cambered. He also had a bid to replace the entire thing. And then somebody said, well, this contractor went broke. I said, Lord, Lord, Lord. His insurance company and a bonding company didn't go broke. Then the city sent a notice to them about 3 little things. It came to a little over $30,000, which they right away gave it to him. Then they springs the rest of it on him. And they said, no, 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 this is a shallow well, not a spring. One time, now you have to sue. Do not put it over that street knowing it's got to come up. I'm laying each of you on notice. My attorney said, which I should do, because he said he thinks that it can then become yours, responsibility to open yourselves up for a personal lawsuit, which I have no objections to doing. I will put together a coalition. And for those of you who don't know what that is, a group, when it comes due, and it's coming, believe me, it's coming. This entire thing needs to be addressed now. At least that portion that is in Valentine. Now, I understand Mr. Hill already has told you that you had a camera too. He did. We had a problem. Don't cover the problem because you're going to be in there digging it up anyway. Because at the time I said, why are we putting it in the center of the street? Well, we were going to the side. You know why the city didn't move it to the side? They did not want to have to buy the easement. I'm not, as far as holding Mr. Hill up, I told him I have all my paperwork in. As soon as one of my partners gets back from Norway. That part I don't have a problem with, but I do have a problem with addressing what we know is a fact. That's why I'm laying it on you, and I would like a copy, ma'am, of my statement so I can give it to my attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Scroggins. Is there any other public comment on the condemnation? Any other public comment? Last call for public comment on this public hearing. Please come on up to the podium. State your name and address for the record.
My name is Charles Deach, Tri-Delta Incorporated, 6840 112th Avenue Southeast, Newcastle, 98056. We own 3 parcels on Valentine. We've been moving for over 30 years. We've gone through the ups and downs of the previous annexation, the previous sewer, and we can't do anything with our property until this project goes through. There is not a single, the whole goal for annexation was to develop that area. That's why the city annexed it because some there at the time couldn't see far enough ahead and thought they didn't have the capacity. And so they gave it up. Pacific was willing, when they jump off the dock, they said their only stipulation was whether or not Metro would take them. And thank God you had the president up on the hill with Milton, so you didn't have to fight the question of city and 2 counties. And that's how Auburn got up on the hill here, and it's the same, so everything builds off. There's been too many meetings, too many discussions to stop this in any way, shape, now. Realistically, the city needs the money for the development. The days of open storage, for the most of that, will be gone as soon as the new water line comes in that will allow proper sized buildings for sprinkler systems. That was the whole object. 30 years, from our standpoint, 30 years is enough. If I would have known 30 years ago it was going to take this much problem in this small a city, wouldn't have bought it. And what's difficult from our standpoint is, non-residents, we don't have a voice. We can't vote, which I think that's not fair either. I think landowners should have no more of a vote. But, when there's a question of even elections, should have that option. But that's a whole other issue. But it's time. There's lots of money been spent. We have gone through the fiasco last year with the past mayor and the big mess that created. It's time. And unless you as a group are against it, I think the bulk of the landowners are for it. The only question most people are having right now is getting a fair evaluation. Because we were all sold originally when the project was going that the land would be about $10 a square foot. Well, none of the bids that have come back from not the assessors, but the appraisers that's coming were close to that. So I think a lot of the objections are on that. And of course the appraisals were taken at a time when the economy and valuations were as low as they possibly. All you have to look is that anybody that things are happening not only here but in the other cities.
Sure.
And it's time. So
Okay, well, I
nothing to
appreciate
stop
your
it.
comment.
All
Thank
right?
you very much.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments on this for the public hearing? Any other comments from the public on this? Okay, last call for any comments on the public hearing. All right, that public hearing is closed.